Good morning, YouTube hiking world. Ray from Hike-ALOT again. I wanted to come to you this morning with a quick video on backpacking and hiking hacks that I personally use. I know the internet and YouTube are absolutely full of videos out there talking about different hikers and backpackers hacks. And I wanted to be sure I brought you stuff this morning that I had not seen elsewhere. Doesn't mean they're not out there, but hopefully this is new information for you. So let's dive in. All right, guys, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I am not the only person on the trail that filters water in this configuration. It's great, it works wonderfully. My only complaint with it, when I get to camp at night and set up, I would like to filter all of my water and then be done with water. I want to have enough for dinner that night, for all my hydration needs, all of my hygiene needs, breakfast the next morning, and be able to cap off all of my bottles and be ready for the trail as quickly as possible without having to constantly sort of go through and filter water each time. So I needed more capacity on this end, so I went through and this is actually a local taco casa. I have seen these at multiple other places. You go in and order a gallon of tea to go. They give these really rugged plastic bags that's a gallon each. And usually only charge a couple bucks for a gallon of tea, and these bags have been incredibly durable. And I've seen them at lots of other places. Here in Texas, our taco casa uses these, but I've seen them all over. You do need to pay attention to the thread patterns up top. Some of them have a wider thread pattern that then doesn't work with the filter here. But if you look around at some of your local fast food chains, they work great. Like I said, I can sit down. It weighs virtually nothing. They stand up on their own because they've got expandable bottoms. So once you get the water started in there, it's a nice easy way to filter out a gallon. Obviously you have to fill up your knock bag a couple of times, but you can filter out everything all at one time, and that usually gives me plenty of water for the evening and start the day out with the next day. Okay guys, I'm not one that always has a campfire at night once I've made camp, but especially during the winter time when the sun goes down so much earlier, sometimes I do like a little small fire just for the sake of having a little company and a little extra light around camp. So our next hack is going to be one that is just a little simple, easy fire. I know you guys wonder what the heck this is. This is just a little, that's a Tic Tac tin. That's all I'll put it in to. It's something nice and light to hold it, but what we're really looking for is the contents in there. Let's shake one of these out here. There's a couple. All right, so what this is a little cotton facial swab, but you're wondering what on earth is on there. My wife has those little Scentsy candles that are buried all over our house, which is really just a kind of a soft wax. Now, what I will do once she's fired those things up, I'll take a handful of these little facial swabs, and I'll ease around behind her, and don't tell her because she'll probably scold me if she figures out where all of her wax is going. And I'll just ladle these into the Scentsy once everything's melted, and we'll take and throw a few of these. You can usually put 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe into a Tic Tac tin. And I know that when I get to camp, and I don't submerge them completely. I always leave like one little end that's kind of frayed out that's dry. This will take a spark or a match or lighter or whatever, really simply. And then in that case, I really just have a little candle at that point. About this much wax on here is going to burn for 5-6 minutes, give or take, somewhere in that neighborhood. Nice, simple. It's easy to do. It's if your tinder is suspect, it gives you plenty of time to actually get a fire going. Like I said, it works great in a pinch. All right, our next hack is going to be related to campfire cooking and meals. We all like to cook on the trail, and from time to time you need a little extra spice, a little something to pick up your meal. So not all of them do, but a lot of the local Home Depots here will put these little free water test kits out by the exit doors. And I picked up one because we're going to do some testing on water at the house. And when I was rifling through it and started checking out to see how it worked, when you open them up inside this little foam sleeve, these little vials in here, and I kept looking. I was like, oh, these are great size. They're pretty handy. And then I had the brilliant epiphany of, you know what? I'm going to make this my spice kit. It's not enough for a ton of meals, but you can definitely get 2, 3, 4 dinners out of that. And I'll go through and I will just preload everything into there. And if you're one that carries a ton of different stuff, they fit nicely into an Altoids tin. I'll just go through and write on the side what the spice is, and gives me Plenty of options on the trail. If I want to carry a lot, I'll carry a little tin or toss them all into a Ziploc bag. More often than not, I don't carry the tin. I'll take one, maybe two of these, but nice nifty little way to carry your spices around. And they're very durable. They're all plastic. All right, guys, keeping with our theme of cooking here, I've got my travel cook kit here. It's just a little Totes 550. Just take it out of the sleeve. Yeah. Set it down here, get the lid off, get down to the insides here, just a little BRS. I'll use rod, lighter. See, I told you I kept these things in here. There is 2 packets of Tony's, because who can possibly go wrong with Tony's? The fuel out of the way, container out of the way, move all that stuff over here. I'm gonna use this and this. You guys can look in here. You'll see that we've got the measurements in there. And if you're like me and you've passed your 40th birthday quite some time back, you may have figured out now that your vision is not what it used to be. At one point, one day and age, I could read that really well. But now I cannot, especially in the evenings or when you're in a more of a low light situation. I started to have issues with that. And rather than constantly guessing at where it was, I found these little jokers at Walmart, and it's just a little Ziploc bag. It's got the measurements on there for your liquid dosing sizes. So it just breaks up into increments up to a cup. I went so far as to write the ounces on there, because I hate having to think about how many cups are in an ounce, and I confuse myself, and I hate ruining a meal over it. Comes in a big box. You get a ton of them. I'll use them 2 or 3 times and at most, and then toss them. Have a plethora of them. Every cook kit I have has 1 or 2 of these in there. So they work great. It's nice and easy, especially for you old guys that, like myself, that can't see quite as well as you used to be able to. Okay, guys, I'm personally not a water bladder fan, and I know that I drink more water if I can keep the water up front with me. I hate reaching back and trying to fish a bottle out of the little side pouches. So I started looking at different options to have the water up front, and I looked at the pouches, the hang-ons and things like that, and just never could find anything I really liked. And I gravitated toward these little quick clips that you just kind of pinch on and pinch off, and I really liked those. But if you've ever read the reviews on them, everyone fusses because they just sort of, when you're walking, they flail around. And what I thought was a brilliant idea of using these quickly turned into, well, I sounded like a marching band trying to walk down the trail, which drove me crazy. So, really quick fix for it that I've seen a couple people just sort of on the trail like, oh, I need to do that. Just took a little piece of shock cord and strung it onto the bottom of my pouch. And now, it doesn't flail, it doesn't go anywhere, it keeps it all nice and snug. It's a quick, easy fix, and I get the benefit of having this up here. The water bottle slips out, slides back in really easily, and once I clip it on, I just reach down, grab the shock cord, stretch it over the top, and we're off to the races. Okay, guys, hopefully you found that beneficial and you picked up a nugget or 2 here that you can put into practice next time you're out on the trail. And if you're on the trail now watching this, just remember, left foot, right foot, repeat. We'll see you out there again soon.